What are the 25 most iconic Pokemon cards of all time? How's it going, everyone? It's Joe here from Silphco Consultancy, and today we're tackling the topic of the subset of 25 cards that has been announced for the new 25th anniversary celebration set for the Pokemon trading card game. They've announced that there's going to be 25 iconic Pokemon cards, and we will be receiving close remakes to those cards in this new little subset. They already have given us some great morsels of promotional cards going back to Delta Species, now in the form of a Mimikyu. We're getting a Dragapult Prime. We're getting Hydreigon C, an SP form Pokemon. We're getting a Zacian Level X. So much stuff that is just so awesome to start looking back at and seeing these new twists that Pokemon are giving to these cards and really breathing a breath of life. But today we're going to be focusing on looking back at the past and looking at this 25 card subset and what cards I believe should be in there, as well as cards that I would really like to see. So a few rules just as before we get into this list. I'm going to only have one category of card and only one space in my iconic 25 card subset for those things. For example, one light Pokemon only, one crystal Pokemon only, one EX Pokemon, etc. And also I won't be having species crossing over as well. So, you know, because we've got that base set Charizard already announced, there won't be any Charizards in this list because I'm taking up that one species slot with the Charizard base set, and that's one that's already been announced. They've also announced already that there's going to be the Umbreon Gold Star as well as the Tapu Lele GX. So I won't be tackling any Gold Stars, sorry Rayquaza, and I won't be tackling any GX Pokemon either because Tapu Lele in my list is going to be taken up by that slot. So let's start off with the dark and light Pokemon category then. Well, nothing is more iconic to me for dark Pokemon than Dark Raichu from the Team Rocket set. I think, you know, being the first ever secret rare does speak volumes, and it's a really awesome artwork as well. So Dark Raichu would certainly be my first consideration into this iconic set. On the flip side, we have the light style Pokemon, and I think Light Arcanine is just such a family favorite that you have to give it iconic status and put it in this little subset. There are a few others out there as well, like Dragonite was definitely a consideration, but Light Arcanine in the end is probably the most popular light Pokemon that people are trying to collect, so it would really be awesome to see it show up in this set. Shining Pokemon have shown up during TCG sets in all different eras of Pokemon, and it's always been heavily chased cards, even more recently with the Hidden Fates set. But I want to go all the way back to the original Neo Revelation, the first ever set to release a Shining card for my iconic choice, and that's going to be Shining Gyarados. It's such an iconic Pokemon. We know the Shining Gyarados from the Gold and Silver games as well, so it really carries a big story there, and I think that's why it deserves its spot to be the iconic Shining Pokemon. Crystal types is a really difficult one because most people would jump straight away to the Charizard, but we know that that's taken by the base set. So I'm going to give it to the runner-up, actually the icon from the Aquapolis expansion, and that's going to be Crystal Lugia. Now, it's a really hard one because there's so many good Lugias out in future sets that I kind of wanted to have, giving those the iconic status because they're such great collector pieces as well. But I feel there's no better icon for the Crystals type Pokemon outside of Lugia, and let's face it, this is still an awesome card. There's great lightning going on in the background, and outside of Charizard, I think this is definitely the Chase Crystal card. So during the EX era, we already have received the Gold Star option, so I can't give any Gold Stars out because Umbreon is literally already known, confirmed to be taking up that space, but there are still EX cards that I can be giving a space to here. So in my iconic set, I do want to give Milotic EX the chance. It's one of those ones that isn't really stand out in terms of its relevance in sort of Pokemon history or anything like that, but it's just a gorgeous card, and I think is a really nice showcase for how cards used to look way back in the day. The Diamond and Pearl era introduced Level X cards, and Level X's are really interesting mechanically. We have already seen the Zacian is going to be a promo for us, but I think nothing stands out in the Diamond and Pearl set quite like Lucario. Lucario is basically Mr. Diamond and Pearl outside of like legendaries. He's a pseudo, you get an egg of him in the games, you always level him up, he's such an awesome sort of Pokemon. He eventually gets a Mega Evolution. He's in Smash Bros. He's in all the fighting games on the Pokemon side as well. So yeah, Lucario, really iconic Pokemon in general, and the Level X also looks awesome. It also got a promotional copy as well. Either one of these artworks I'm happy with. I personally prefer the set artwork, but both of these are doing just fine for me. Heart Gold Soul Silver is another interesting one. They've shown us the new Dragapult, but for me, I'm sticking with the Psychic types and going for the Heart Gold Soul Silver Triumphant sets Gengar Prime. I think it's a really, really awesome card. Gengar's a really popular species, and it also brought a new mechanic to the TCG alongside the Lost World. This was a stadium card that allowed you to have an alternate win condition to taking 6 prize cards, and Gengar was one of the actual ways that this was becoming relevant and was actually a win condition in the game. So a real historic landmark in creating that 4th win condition for players actually playing the game, and it was a successful card at the time, relatively successful at least, and it also combines being amazing looking and a fantastic species. Black and White brought about new Age EX cards, capital EXs, as well as bringing full arts to the table, and that's where I want to focus on for my Black and White entry. So that's going to be actually a trainer card in the form of N. I think N is a fantastic historic figure in the Black and White lore. He's a really awesome character that you go around and end up having to battle, and he has a fantastic story, very creative from Pokemon side, one of the most in-depth characters that they've gone into, and it's not something you often equate to the Pokemon sort of franchise, but they really did do wonders with that character of N. He's also iconic in the TCG. He's the card that everyone wants in the format at all times because he is just such a fantastic card for the game. So I think for his historic presence, his in VGC presence, I think he's earned all of those things, but also the full art is just looking awesome as well. So yeah, N is going to be my full art choice for the Black and White era. And finally, for my Hall of Fame, my iconic 25 cards wish list that I would love to see in this upcoming Celebration set for the Mega Evolution, we are going to go for Mega Rayquaza EX. Basically, for almost all of these categories, I considered a Rayquaza at one point or another. Unfortunately, the Gold Star is a slot that's taken, and that's clearly the most iconic Rayquaza. So it felt strange having just another Rayquaza on the list anywhere. So we've gone all the way down to the Mega Evolution, where it gets a new coat of paint. It looks like a very different Pokemon. So I feel that naturally this is going to be a decent place to put Ray, seeing as though he is slightly different. We also got that great Generations little clip on YouTube where you get to see a trainer riding a Mega Rayquaza and actually fighting a Deoxys in a sky battle. It's the most insane thing if you haven't seen it. Rayquaza is obviously a fan favorite. You could put him in many of these slots, to be honest, but this is where I have landed on getting a Rayquaza into that list because you'd be really unhappy to see an iconic 25 with no Rayquaza in there whatsoever. It was a lot of fun going back and exploring through all these sets, and no matter what, I'm going to be really excited to collect the 25 iconic cards that Pokemon pick out. There's tons of other species out there that we didn't even scratch the surface on. Tons of, Mewtwo, Dragonite, Mew, Blastoise, Venusaur, all sorts of these starter evolutions. Tons of legendary and mythical Pokemon to get sunk into as well. So choosing just 25 is going to be a difficult job for Pokemon. So I don't envy them at all. I've already spent a long time thinking about my shortlist. I wonder how it's going to end up. Let me know your thoughts and give me your iconic 25 down below if you want to follow my structure and just have one for each, or you just want to go wild and shove it with a ton of Charizard cards. That's all down to you. I hope you enjoyed this little fun video today, and I'll be back soon with another one. Cheers.